Welcome back. I was getting ready to go in the house and thought about something I just said in my last video about living with purpose, so I thought I should probably elaborate a little bit on that. So, some backtrack. If you've just tuned in, I found out several months ago that I have a suspicious node in my lung as a result of a lung cancer screening CT, lung cancer screening CT with a follow-up with a PET scan. And because of the location and the size, my doctor has decided to watch and wait. Okay, it's in a bad spot as far as being able to do a biopsy, and I've been putting videos on there about really how I'm dealing with this and advocating for lung cancer screening. So if you qualify, if you meet the criteria, go and get it. You will see that I talk about some areas of frustration, but today I want to talk about living with purpose. This goes back for me even before this happened. So back at the end of, say, 2023, I watched a show on, it was either Netflix or Hulu, I can't remember the exact title, but it was called The Blue Zones. Okay, so in a nutshell, because I'm not going to talk about blue zones, but just to give you an overview, there are places in the world called blue zones where they have a high population of people who live to be 100 years old. Okay, and there are people who study this, and there are certain characteristics that each one of these communities has. And one of the things that they find is common among all of them is they have some sort of a purpose. Okay, and you know, purpose is your life purpose, your purpose for living is a very individual thing, and mine right now is sharing this information. One of my main purposes is to share how I'm dealing with this watchful waiting and my reactions and so on and so forth, dealing with finding a suspicious growth due to a lung cancer screening with my naughty history of smoking. Okay, and so you know, I kind of had a wake-up call. Well, I didn't have a wake-up call. I gradually went into this. So last July, so almost a year ago, I had visited my kids, and my purpose for visiting was to talk about my end-of-life wishes and afterlife wishes. Okay, that was my whole purpose. And I was still smoking on that trip. So it hasn't even been a year yet since I quit smoking. But nobody in that part of my family, you know, my daughter and her husband and the people that I was with, nobody there, including my ex-husband, he actually went with me. Nobody there smokes. I was the only tobacco smoker. And I was just, I don't know what it was, like just talking about how I wanted to deal with the end of my life, and then thinking, you know, at the time, thought I don't really have anything wrong with me, and I reassured my kids that I was fine, but I want to stay fine, right? And so within a month or so, actually probably less than that, I quit smoking. I do vape because I am addicted to the nicotine, so I'm not going to lie to you about that. I do have a nicotine addiction, and I know that vaping is probably not the best thing in the world, but I know that how I feel now versus how I felt then before I quit smoking, there is a huge difference, and that was from July to the end of the year. Now, come January, I was having some other little symptoms, had nothing to do with my lungs, but they were concerning. And so in July, I started the process to find out what was going on with my body, because I actually thought I had colon cancer, you know, but turns out I don't. So I had all that taken care of. So you should get that done too. It's not that bad. By the way, this is not a cancer symptom. This is because I have GERD and I got a little burn in my throat from some reflux that I had last night. But I'm dealing with that too. That's minor comparatively. At least I feel that way. So anyway, all these things kind of came together, and I thought about, what do I want with my life? What do I want to do? And at that time, I really wanted to, I'm looking towards retirement. I'm not there yet, but I am looking towards retirement, and that's going to be in less than 2 years. I won't have enough to live on with just my retirement, you know. So how am I going to supplement that? That's where the reselling comes in. And where do I want to be towards the end of my during my retirement, before I get too old that I can't take care of myself? And I really want to be somewhere closer to my children, because they're in different states. And even though I love it here in Georgia, my family's not here, so Ray's gonna have to come with me if he wants to stay with me. And I'm gonna go to Ohio, where my older daughter lives, because she will be the person who is going to fall with the responsibility of taking care of me if I become incapacitated. Meanwhile, that will give me an opportunity to bond with my grandchildren and do some things that, you know, are harder for me to do right now just because of my time constraints. So that was originally my purpose. And then I got this devastating news. Now, knowing that, as I've stated before, there's not a lot of information. The people aren't sharing their experience like I'm trying to share with you. But going back to the Blue Zone people and finding a purpose, you look at some of these people, they're 90 and 100 years old, okay? So 40 years from where I am right now, okay? And I feel like an old lady today. What will be my purpose? Do I even want to make it that far? I don't know if I want to be 100, but I think that we all have a purpose. And sometimes I think we take that for granted. So me sharing this experience, that's like one of the big ones. But before this happened, my purpose was to be a mother and a grandmother. You see what I'm saying? And to live that country kind of life. That was my purpose, to love my people. And so that's a very simple purpose, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay? That's what we were made for. You know, human beings are social creatures. But you have to identify what your purpose is. And some of us have greater or more loftier purposes. Not that what I'm doing. Mine is done out of a need, okay? Which I guess that's the basis of all inventions or whatever. But you know, I don't have this great calling to cure cancer. I can't do it, okay? I don't have the answer for world peace, but maybe you do, you know, assuming you're not watching this based on lung cancer, but maybe you want to find out more about finding your purpose in life through my own, you know, how I'm sharing my experience. But truly identifying, and that's what I think it is, identifying your purpose is essential, no matter what age you are, and taking into consideration that your purpose may shift as your life changes. These things change. You can adjust it. It may be a lifelong calling for you to minister to somebody who's sick, or research a certain thing, like whatever, you know, wherever your heart leads you. But this is something that comes from the heart. Your purpose is going to come from in here. Okay, it's not that mechanical thing when you go to work every day and you spit out your quota for the day and you answer to a boss. Okay, that's not your purpose. Your purpose may be to whatever you choose it to be, but it's going to have to come from in here, and that's really where it starts. It's inside yourself. And so I just wanted to elaborate on that a little bit more. I hope you find it helpful, and hopefully it helps me. I'm hoping I'm going to stay devoted to my purpose and my plans, and see where it goes. So thank you so much.